Hey y'all, what's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? I feel like my camera, I'm gonna sit like this. My camera's on some shit. I'm sorry. My laptop's not cooperating with the other parts of my system. But you already know what it is, okay? It is like 3:45 in the morning. I can't sleep and I need to finish my beer. Okay, I don't actually have to finish it. I would like to finish it because I'm traveling around noon and I'm going to Connecticut. Yay! I don't really give a fuck. It's just because I don't feel like being in the house alone. Like, I came home to see my grandma and stuff. I don't want to be home alone. So I'm just coming along because I was asked if I wanted to go, and I get free food and booze. So now I can drink at family events without people side-eyeing me. It's fantastic. I can't wait. So I don't think I'm tipsy. Maybe a little bit right now. Just a little bit. I'm drinking a little beer. Nothing crazy. It's like the lightest shit ever. But I just have to sip on it. I took this hours ago and I'm still not done. But yeah. So I'm gonna try and not, I don't want my neck looking like this, you know. Let me talk like right here. So as you can see from the title, I'm gonna be telling this story. I've been wanting to tell this story for so long, but I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. Like, I know people post story times like this all the time, but I was like, oh my god, you're gonna know what I did. But it's okay. It's really not no shit. It's not no shit. It's alright. It happens. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I keep wanting to say freshman year, but it wasn't freshman year. It was sophomore year. That was the first time I dormed because I was one of the college students that had to start college during the pandemic. So the entire first year I was online. So sophomore year coming in fall 2021, I was like, yo, I want to drink, I want to smoke, I want to party, I want to do all this shit that I could not do freshman year because I was trying to get that college experience, you feel me? My opinion on that kind of stuff has changed a lot. Don't get me wrong, I still be doing things, but not like, it's not like on the excessiveness that I felt I was on during that first year. But you gotta understand, I was coming from a sheltered environment. I was experiencing a lot of shit for the first time. You feel me? Like, it was crazy. Like, I gotta go out, do this, that, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mindset I came in. I literally was telling people I want to do this. Like, I won't go too deep into it, but I was trying to live. You feel me? So we go in. You know, that Sunday, I'm gonna give them random names, Susan and Tyler. I meet Susan and Tyler, 2 out of the 4 of my total suite mates. Susan and Tyler are super dope from the jump. Super dope. And it didn't take long before Tyler started talking about weed and shit. And I was very intrigued because that was one of the things that I had wanted to try because I had never tried anything. I came super close once in like 8th grade, but I chickened out and I didn't do it. But I'm honestly glad because looking back, I'm glad that's not something I was doing in high school. I'm glad that I waited until college. That would not have helped me out at that time. So yeah, so he starts talking about this shit. I'm immediately drawn in. I want to know everything. I want to know about edibles. I want to know about joints. I want to know about vapes. I want to know about dab pen, everything. I was like, yo, tell me about all of this. And when can I try some? Can you hook me up? And they had some shit. They were on the go. They came in high. It was like, I was like, yo, I was so impressed. Like, I want that to be me. So, yeah, we was talking about that and shit and vibing. I was getting to know them. This was just within a few hours of talking to Tyler and Susan. It was awesome. So, you know, with that, about a week later, I tried my first little piece of an edible. I don't want to say edible because it wasn't like a full edible at all. I could never do that. I would have to gain a lot of weight to be able to sustain that. Like, that's not happening. That's not happening anytime soon. I know y'all see this shit. I'm not exposing myself now, but y'all see, bruh. That's not happening right now. So, fuck. What was I even saying? Yeah, like a week later, I tried like a piece of an edible. It was the chocolate ones. So I had like a little, like a, I don't know what to call it, a square of chocolate. Yeah, but no, I didn't have that. It was like I took from a square of chocolate. I had half of a half, I believe. Yeah, might have been even less than that. It was a very tiny piece because I was extremely nervous, but I wanted to do it, so I took a little bit. And Susan was like, "All right, we're gonna time you. If you don't feel anything after 30 minutes to an hour or some shit like that, then you take the other half or something. I don't know." And I was like, "I bet." And I was like, hopefully I feel something because I don't want to take the other half and it hits me too hard. Because these are punch bars. And punch bars hit different. Y'all know about them punch bars, yo. Them shits. That's not for the weak, bro. You gotta be on your shit if you're gonna be having punch bars. That's all I gotta say. Like, if you a beginner or some shit, I would not start off with no edible punch bar type shit. I would start off with a simple little joint. Take a puff or two. Little vape something. Depending on the vape. Because looking back, yeah, that's not something. I wish I had started off with joints first, but that didn't go that way, and I don't remember why. I don't think it really matters. It was just, that's just how it went. So I took half of the half. I'm sitting on the couch, you know. I felt the tiniest bit of high ever, but barely anything, which is why I don't even do that shit now. Like, it would take me months to go through that shit. It would probably be getting all bad or whatever. I don't really know much about that kind of shit, how fresh it stays, but it definitely would get a little stale or something. And I would never take enough anyway, just to feel that little bit of high is not worth it. I'd rather take a joint or some shit that I know I'm gonna get high, you know. It's just easier for my body to take, you feel me? So I'm sitting there listening to high life and shit. Ditzy. I was definitely a little ditzy, and everybody thought it was mad funny, and I thought it was funny because I was just like, this is so cool. I never felt anything like this before. Like, I had been drinking, you know, not to the extent that I did, you know, once I was a bit more settled in, but I have been drinking before that a little bit here and there, but it's just different. Smoking, like, getting high versus getting tipsy is a completely different experience. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, I prefer that. I always thought that the way to go was drinking, and people would tell me that when the people that were smoking, but once I tried it too, I was like, I get it. And the aftermath, except for how this story went, as long as you don't overdo it, is good. You don't wake up feeling hungover as shit, you know? So it was like that, but ain't nothing really happened that first time. That was about the first few days into the school year, like September 4th or something. I don't know, I'm saying some random ass date, but it was early on in September, like that first week. And I was like, alright, you know, I'm gonna try a little bit more next time. So probably like a week and a half later, it was on Friday. I don't want to say the date because it just makes me feel weird. So that Friday, second week of school, now I'm knowing these people for around this time. I'm feeling like I'm getting pretty close to them. Well, on my end at least. Future story time. So yeah, I felt like I was getting pretty close to Tyler and Susan, and this particular time they were like, yo, we're gonna invite some people over, you could meet some more of our friends, you get to know more people. And I was like, bet, I'm down. I was a little bit nervous because I was like the baby of the group, but I was willing and a lot more open at the time. So I was like, I bet, let's do it. So they bring over one of their friends, and then they bring over another. I don't think it's necessary to give them names because it's not really a major role in this story. So yeah, they just brought their friends. I thought they were cool and funny. And amidst meeting the first friend, is when they start hitting the edibles and drinking and shit. So I took half of a square of chocolate, which was way too much for me. Y'all see how small I am, so that shit fucked me up. And in the beginning, you know, it was like that meme where when you think the edible ain't finna hit, and then you see the picture of when it does hit. It was exactly like that. And I was in the room, like, vibing, like, yo, I'm gonna be good. But something was telling me, you probably took a little bit too much. But I was like, it's fine. I'll just find out. I'm sure it's not gonna be that much more different from before. Little did I fucking know. So I'm taking it. I'm good for a good hour, and it took mad long. For a good hour and a half, I was solid. And I was like, yeah. And you know, I feel like it was kind of a bit of a I just had to fucking worry. But when you think something's happening, but it's not really happening, but you're under the impression that it's happening because you took something. I'm gonna be so fucking mad if I don't fucking remember this word. But I'm not fucking remember. You know, if they give you medicine, but they didn't really give it to you, but you feel stronger now, yeah, that shit. Yeah, because I have short-term memory loss, like no cap, I do, because of my neuromyelitis optica, so I be forgetting shit like that, like simple things a lot, and then I'll remember it later. But yeah, I felt like that's what was going on, because I thought I might have been a little bit high, but I wasn't really that high at all compared to what was finna happen. So I was starting to get a little bit higher and a little bit higher, but still nothing crazy. It was a very steady thing at first. And I met one of their other friends outside, and we were still chilling. And they were like, yo, let's go play Cards Against Humanity. And, like, yeah, so we was finna do that shit. And I might have been drinking at that point, too. I don't know, but I was already, like, nowhere near the amount of discombobulated I was gonna be, but I was starting to get there. So I was in such a good mood and shit that I purchased concert tickets, bro. I think WizKid was performing or some shit. I'm looking back now, I'm glad I didn't go to that shit because I heard that it was lame as fuck, and I've definitely discovered after a few more experiences after that I'm a small concert person. Like, if I'm gonna see something big, it's gotta be like Angelique Kidjo type vibes, Carnegie Hall, fancy, classy type shit, you know. But I ain't doing no crazy shit again. Yeah, it's not worth all that. I'm just not. I'm not built for that shit. So I was really like in the midst. I wasn't fully thinking about it because the price was so fucking expensive, and I ended up reselling my ticket, which I'll get to why I did that. But in the moment, I was starting to get up in the clouds and shit, and whatever they say for when you're tipsy, but the combination of those two, because I feel like I was drinking too. I don't think I was just starting to get high. I don't fully remember, so I apologize if that's not 100% accurate, but I was definitely on some shit. Because I had no intentions of going to the concert before that. Like, I had heard about it, and I, you know, when SS was really popping and shit, but I wasn't on the vibe like that, because it was getting overplayed, so I was just like, I don't know, like, I'm not really feeling this album like that. If I like to do shit on my own, not because everyone else is new for me. So I was like, whatever. And my senior had been talking about it all week, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. When I was in that mood, I was like, yo, let me go. Let me go. I'm telling you, before that, I had no intentions of going. I don't listen to WizKid like that. I like his earlier stuff, but, you know, I'm gonna get clowned for that or whatever. Yeah, so let me get back to the story. I'm fucking on a tangent again, I'm sorry. So, when you go back inside, I'm still, you know, steady, nothing crazy. We get inside, still like that. We sitting at the table. All of a sudden, the one sweet me I didn't give a fucking name to, I'm gonna call him fucking Ethan. So, Ethan brings in some friends. We kind of fucked up the vibe a little bit because none of us was ever really feeling Ethan from the jump. Okay, I won't say that. I'm lying. I didn't vibe with Ethan the way I vibed with Tyler and Susan right away. Like, I went out to eat with Ethan one time with Riley before the other two came, and you know, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna keep trying to get to know you, but that vibe isn't quite there yet, but I'm gonna give you a shot. And that's what we did. We got some good ass, I don't know if it was Dominican food or what, but we had some good ass food. There's fucking burritos that we got nearby that we all ate together. And that was that. But I don't really remember much of ever really doing something with him again outside of maybe going to a restaurant. What the hell? Sorry, y'all. I didn't realize my phone wasn't on silent. Outside of a restaurant, nothing like that. So I was like, the friends, the vibe was just different. Like, to say the least, it was just, you know, the vibe of, like, you see what my vibe is, and just imagine someone not like that. Like, I'm trying not to say too much, but someone who's not like that, because everybody up to that point had been matching my energy, but these people came in were kind of just very off, you know. And there's some cultural reasons for that, but that's not what today is about, so I'm not gonna go there. But that's what it was. So we were just kind of like, okay, I guess we'll play with you. Everyone's kind of high and a little bit tipsy anyway, so I guess we don't really care that much. So we start playing. Right when we started playing, that's when it fucking hit. I felt like cloudiness, and I felt like the room was like moving a little bit. Like shit was starting to change shape. Like that's what it felt like. Like something was not right in my head. Like it wasn't like a super dizzy feeling. It was just kind of like, ooh, like oozy, you know, like woozy, like laugh, like you want some laughing gas or something. And I was like, oh shit, like you know when some shit's about to happen to you, but you don't really know what it is, but you're scared. And it was like that, and I just started feeling it, and I got up so abruptly, like in the middle of the game, bro. I just stood up, and everybody was just kind of like, the hell is wrong with him? And I'm looking at them like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm trying to find out, because I get paranoid and anxious very quickly. That was like my main symptom, bro. Like this paranoia, it was bad. Like I was trying to hyperventilate like a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna go outside. Not like outside, like in the hallway. And I think I was probably trying to go further than that, but I looked in the hallway, and bro, the hallway didn't look like the hallway. It was like just long ass shit that looked like a fucking crazy ass maze, like Alice in Wonderland type shit. And I was like, oh nah, I'm going back inside. So, and I could barely walk back inside, so I start freaking out, bro. Tell me why the fuck I called my grandmother, bro. Of all people in this world. It was a good thing she didn't pick up. That was God. It was a good thing she didn't answer. It was just after 12 when this thing decided to hit. She didn't answer. I called my uncle who lives with her. He didn't answer right away. He called me back like 2 minutes later. I don't know how. I'm like, either you know what's wrong with me, or you never seen nobody on the edibles before, because how the fuck he didn't question shit. And like I walked in with him on the phone, and mind you, the door wasn't even locked. Like I didn't lock it. I just closed that shit, and I'm over here knocking loud as fuck, like, yo, let me back in. And then somebody comes to open the door, and then they're looking at me kind of confused, and I just walked past them like a zombie, bro. I didn't even say thank you for opening the door. No, I just walked straight, and my uncle is trying to talk to me, but I'm not even fully listening to him. I just have him on the line, because my brain is just starting to go like this. And I'm walking past the table, and they're like, shit, I almost said her name. Fucking Susan. It was like, yo, you know that the door is unlocked, right? And I was like, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I was like, yeah. And I just kept walking straight into my room. And they looked so confused. And I found out later that they were kind of concerned at that point, but I guess they didn't feel like they were, not that they weren't as comfortable, that they didn't know me well enough to just barge in, and they were like really big on boundaries and like privacy and shit. So they didn't want to like overstep that, which I get. At the same time, I really wish that that's the one time that they did and just fucking went in the room, because yo, it was bad. I walked in, and I'm barely making it. Everywhere I'm walking, I was barely, I'm like feeling about to walk into walls and shit. Like I felt like I was in a completely different dimension. Like my body just felt so weird, and then my body started to vibrate, like this internal vibration was just going through my body, like waves of the vibration, and it was like whew, like that. And I was like, fuck, what's happening to me? Sorry, my throat getting a little bit dry. And I was like, the fuck? I'm sorry, I just really need to hear what the hell this shit was. Okay, I don't know what the hell that is and why I got that at 4 a.m. But Yeah, so I'm in my room, bro, and I walk past my mirror, and I swear I started fucking hallucinating. I saw my grandmother. She has these. She likes to wear black shades a lot. So she was in this mirror that I didn't even bring to school. I just imagined that it was there. She's in the mirror just staring at me, bro, with the fucking um shades and shit. It was so scary. I was like, and I just felt like she was looking at me shamefully, like she just somehow knew something was up, and she was looking at me like, you should not have done that. You know, this isn't something I would approve of, that kind of thing. And I felt so guilty in that moment. I was like, why is my grandma looking at me like that? It was bad. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lie down. I'm gonna turn up the lights. And I'm doing that, and I lie down, and just as I lie down, my hearing started to affect my hearing too. Like, everything was getting faint. Like, it felt like they were just outside my door. Because at that time of the year, the tables, I don't think we moved them around that much, so the table was still kind of right there. But it felt like they were just like, this is them, and I was just like this. Like, my hearing got I felt like I was becoming deaf. Like, it was becoming harder and harder to hear them. It was just fading out, and I was like, yo, I'm fucking passing out or something. I'm gonna die. I really thought I was gonna die. Like, I definitely passed out a few times. And I would go out of it and come back in and go out of it and come back in and remember what was happening and start freaking out again. And it was just so bad. Like, just lying down. Like, when you are having when you have too much weed in you, and that happens, your heart is like pulsating like crazy like this, and I could hear my heartbeat so clearly. I'll never forget that. Like, I could hear it so clearly. I was like, bro, my heart feel like it's about to pop out of my chest or some shit. It was so scary. And it never stopped. Like, I was trying to slow down my breathing, and even when I felt like I was breathing slower, it felt like my breathing wasn't, like, the heartbeat just kept going. So I'm just lying down there freaking out, like, yo, I'm gonna wake up in the fucking hospital, bro, and my family's gonna be there like, what the fuck happened to you? And then I'm gonna get in some big ass trouble. That's what I had on my mind, bro. And I was like, man, or I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna wake up and God's gonna be like, welcome to my kingdom or some shit. Like, I don't fucking know. So, so many things were going through my mind, and I was just freaking out. Oh shit, I completely forgot. My uncle, before that, I don't remember what I said to him, but he didn't even fucking figure out what the hell was happening. He was just like, yeah, like, I'm talking all this shit. Like, for those of you who don't know, like, my family's from Ghana, right? So, like, one of the language we speak is Tree. And I was saying shit that I don't be saying in English. I mean, that I don't be saying when I'm sober. I was saying all kinds of shit in Tree. And he was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I was like, oh, it means this. It means... like, it was so bad. Like, I don't say this shit on the regular when I'm sober at all. How the fuck did I get fluent entry on alpha edibles, bro? It was the craziest shit. Just for that time being. Because I didn't even realize I was saying it. And I told him, because I was once in Delaware that following week. And I told him like 3-4 times about the trip over and over again. And he was just like, yeah, Delaware, huh? Okay, da-da-da-da-da. And I told him like multiple times. And I'm like, if I was him, I would have been freaking out. I would have been freaking out as an uncle, because how the fuck... It's so obvious something wasn't wrong. I don't know where the hell his mind was at. I don't know if something wasn't wrong. Something was wrong. I don't know where his mind was at. Because I'm like, how the hell did you not notice, bro? I never behaved like this on the phone. This is not me. And eventually, I was like, you know, I'm feeling a little tired, so I'm going to have the phone. And I probably said that like 5 times too, without even fully realizing it. And he gets off the phone. So that was it. That was a no more phone calls for me. I was kind of like, who else can I call? But I was scared if I had called other people that I was going to get in trouble, so I didn't call them. I didn't call them. I went and lied down. And then everything I just said about lying down, my heart pulsating and passing in and out started happening. And I started to feel like I had to shit and I was going to puke at the same time. Just like the worst combination of feelings ever. And that was me for a while, but none of that happened. I couldn't even get up, so none of that happened. And I'm just lying down there, and like the way passing out felt to me, I felt like, I don't know, like in cartoons when somebody dies or something, and you just see like more like the body in full color, and then you see the body shifting, and there's like less and less color, if you know what I mean. That's what it felt like, and I felt like I would, like, if that was dimensions that the body was going through, that's what I felt like. I was just falling down, 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 down through different dimensions and shit. And I thought I was in heaven for a second. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I swear I saw heaven for like 5 seconds, because I was just at peace for a hot minute, and then I went back into it, in and out. And I swear I was gone for a minute or two. It felt like it happened a few times, and I was seeing a very distinct image of clouds and shit. It was actually absolutely insane. I've never experienced anything like that. Like, it's probably, it felt like it was like a near-death experience, because I was like, this is not Earth. I don't know where the fuck this is, and I'm not really freaking out right now, so I don't think I'm in that body, in that life period for a minute, and it was just insane. Like, that's the shit that was kind of happening to me. Meanwhile, they're playing Cards Against Humanity. Some people probably left at some point, but I have no idea what the fuck happened. It was just so bad. Like, that's crazy. Half of a fucking cube, and that's what it did to me. And I was like, yo, never again. Like, never again. I weigh like 116 right now, 118, maybe 120 max, no more than 120. And I don't even know how much weight I would need to be able to tolerate half of a square of an edible chocolate. But I definitely stayed clear of edibles after that. People kept asking me, do you want to try it again? I was like, I'm good. Like, that whole experience really fucked me up bad. Like, I was off my shit. I couldn't even get up. I had never felt anything like that in my life. Because I'm just a lightweight who's like everything. So that little bit of shit really fucked me up bad. Like, I probably tried to listen to music. I couldn't do anything. I was just freaking out, lying down, and I was just praying to fall asleep. But it felt like it took, sorry, my ear hurts. It felt like it took an eternity for me to fall asleep. Like several long ass hours, and just lying there in the dark, freaking out. Feel vibrations going through my body, my heart pulsating. It's very scary. It's a very scary thing. Like, all jokes aside, it's very scary. I wouldn't wish that shit on anyone. Like, it was bad. And yeah, I was going through it. I was going through dimensions, passing in and out. My heart pulsating so fucking hard. The vibrations going. Like, I felt like I was just like this. Like, I couldn't stop moving. I felt like I was just shaking uncontrollably, and I'd be super cold and then super hot. My body was just going through every possible thing it could go through. Like, it was just in panic mode. And I was like, oh my god, I can't finish this to be over. And I finally fell asleep, and I wake up, and I still feel it. Not anywhere near as bad as the night before, but I still felt high as hell. And I was so mad. And I was like, I don't want to start my day off like this. And I'm getting up, and I was trying to make noodles, and I don't remember if I finished making them or not. I feel like I just stopped because I felt like I couldn't make them. Like, I was too high to make that shit. Simple ramen, bro. Simple ramen, I couldn't do it. Put the packet, I was like, oh, this is too much work, man. Standing with the noodles, but I couldn't do it. You see how simple that is with the noodles and everything? I couldn't even do that when I woke up, even though I was way less high, but I was still extremely high. So I go into Tyler and Susan's room, and Ethan too, technically, but Ethan is not part of the story anymore. Ethan's only role in this was bringing his friends in and fucking up the vibe. So I'm talking to them about this, what happened the night before, and they felt really bad, like it was their fault, and I was like, nah, because I chose to do that. You know, I gotta be on my grown man shit. I chose to do that. Do I wish y'all had came in? Yeah. I don't remember I told them that, but I do wish they had come in, but it is what it is. I understand why they didn't, because if I was in their shoes, I would have felt weird about coming into the room. I honestly don't think I would have. I feel like I would have reacted the same way they did, so I get it. For that particular situation, I get it. But this is some tea, and I'm just gonna put it in here because I don't really give a fuck anymore. And I'll probably do some story times in this in the future. I was kind of holding off on it because, like I said in my last video, I'm not trying to start drama. I just see these experiences as content from my channel. So I'm like, why not talk about them? And if I'm not really exposing anyone for real, you know, I think it's okay. Like, they could make a video about me, like, you know, it's whatever. Of course, like, as the person, you don't necessarily want to be the topic of somebody's video, but I think it's alright if the names are changed and nobody really knows it's like them or anything. I think it's okay. I just like to keep reiterating that. I just want people to know I'm not trying to be a shit starter. But, yeah, so what happened was I'm sitting on the floor, and I can't remember where the fuck Tyler was in the room, but I was looking at him, and Susan was sitting on her bed, and I think that, right, yeah, because Tyler was going to that WizKid concert. He had been stoked about it all week, and I told him about how I had bought the tickets, like a ticket the night before, even though I wasn't intending on going before. And he was like, I don't remember what his reaction was, but I wasn't feeling the type of way yet or anything. But I think he thought it was funny or whatever, and he was trying to convince me not to go, which I thought was weird. Like, maybe I'm like in my head, maybe he's like he doesn't think so because I'm still slightly hungover from the edibles, but my gut feeling was telling me that there was something more to him not wanting me to go. And I still don't fully know why, because of this and some other situations, why he reacted in certain ways about things. But that was the first time that I was like, can I fuck with you like that? Because you're being kind of sus. Because he was supposed to go with Susan. He had bought all these tickets for them to go to all these concerts because they had said that when the pandemic was starting to clear up, they were going to do this shit. But she was going through a private situation, so she wasn't in the mood to go anymore. And I think he was going through some shit too, but he still wanted to go. But she was like, nah, I don't want to go and like kill the vibe or whatever. And then she told him, like, she got, not directly to me, but it was loud enough for me to hear it. She told him he should bring me, but he was like extremely hesitant, and he was like, nah, I'm not gonna, like, he didn't want to be like, no, I'm not gonna bring him, but like, you might as well have said that shit. And I was just kind of taken aback. Like, I was still high as fuck, but sober enough to fully comprehend what the fuck I had just heard. And I was like, why wouldn't you bring me? Like, we have such a bond, or at least I felt like we had such a bond over Afro beats and things. That's as far as I'm gonna say. We had a lot of cultural connections and shit, and I was kind of feeling some type of way after that, because I was like, well, why wouldn't you? Not that, of course, it's your, like, you don't have to do anything. But it just felt weird, because I was kind of expecting him to be like, you know, because if it was me, I would have done that. I would have asked him if he wanted to go. That was one of the first person I thought of, because when I met him, I was like, this man can't be real. We cannot have this many similarities and shit. Like, there's very specific things I was like, oh my god, like, I'm low-key in love with you. Like, you can't know that. You'll probably see this video one day. You probably already know that I was in love with you, which is a completely different other story, which I may or may not tell. I probably will, whatever. Content, right? But, he probably knows by now, because I know for a fact that Susan probably told him, because Susan, yeah. Later video. But I'm sure he knows by now, is what I'm trying to say. Shit. Oh my god, I almost spilled my drink. So like, I was feeling kind of like, okay. And he kept trying to convince me all day, and I just feel like really, why are you so bent on me not going? What's that about? Do you think I'm not cool enough to meet your other African friends? Like, what is it? and I couldn't figure it out because I thought he liked me a lot, like as a friend. I thought he liked me a lot, and I was just kind of like, I guess not. I don't know if he was like trying to get freaky with some girls and he didn't want me to see that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, and I'm not something I'm bent over anymore. But for a while, I was kind of like, damn, what the fuck was that about? So that's that. I ended up selling my ticket not because of his stupid ass. Okay, I don't want to say it's because of him, but I am someone who doesn't like the vibes of somewhere. Because if I really, really wanted to go, I would have just went and not said anything. But I originally didn't even really want to go. I wasn't really feeling WizKid's album like that to begin with, so I just was like, there's no point. And like, yeah, he added to killing the vibe for me, but it wasn't solely because of him. If it had been like, if y'all know Angelique Kidjo, I mentioned it before. If it would have been something like that or something that I was really into, I would have gone regardless. I would have felt some type of way still, but I would have still gone. But I was like, I'm not even vibing with this shit like that. With the music, the particular artists, I don't want to do all that. So I was like, nah, I'll sell my ticket. Thank God it was like a Ticketmaster shit and I could just do that. So that's what I did. I sold my ticket, and I guess he was like really relieved about that, which was really pissing me off, but whatever. Just for him to come back and be like, that concert was ass, and I was like, I was happy, because I was like, that's what you fucking get, because you was on all this weird shit and you didn't even enjoy the concert, so good for you. But just for him a week later to be like, yo, do you want to go see this other artist I had never heard of, which she had like a dope vibe, but a lot of it was just me trying to vibe with everybody that was there. And I was just kind of like, whatever. I don't really want to see an artist I don't even know, that I've literally heard like one fucking song from, that I was like, oh, that's cool. But it felt weird. I was like, are you making up for not taking me to the WizKid concert? Like, not that you had to, but like, is that what your thought process is? Because I also didn't expect you to invite me somewhere. But I think he was like, oh, I think you would enjoy this more. Okay, I would have enjoyed WizKid more than fucking Susan, but you didn't want to even bring me to replace. You would rather just not replace the ticket. I don't know if he sold that shit or gave it to somebody else, but that whole situation was extremely fucking weird. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I even want to know. I think there's probably some other shit going on, which yeah. Let's just say I don't regret not having those people. I have my reasons for not having those people in my life anymore. I don't really. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably say some shit eventually, because I gotta get the story straight in my head and figure it out. But I'll drop some tea. But yeah, that's essentially the story. My first edible / that little tea that I just dropped in at the end, because I forgot that had happened the morning after. But yeah, my little note to y'all. I feel like I've been doing this shit long enough to be able to give a little bit of sound advice. If you look like me, if your body is not a lot going on, like, weight-wise, okay? Excuse me. If your body's like that, and, you know, if you drink and you're already a lightweight with drinking, or if things just go right through you, you don't need much, take it easy with this shit. All jokes aside, trust me, if the right people are not gonna judge you for it, okay? Even with joints, like, I have to be careful, because I went through 2 joints with Susan once, and yeah, I can't, because I'm not built like Susan. Susan can smoke a lot more than me. I'm like a fucking, I'm not gonna come into a twig, but like, I couldn't handle that sharing with somebody 2 joints. I won't even go through a full joint by myself, even now. I will take a few puffs and be done with it. But, yeah, just be on joints and vapes and shit. That's about all y'all gonna catch me doing. But that's it. I'm excited because I'm about to get another disposable this week. Let's get it. But, something to carry me on through the break. Because, you know, breaks in 2 weeks. Basically. But yeah, that's the story. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll catch y'all soon. I don't know, I might post if I have time in the morning. I really don't have much shit to do, I don't think. We're about to find out, because it's 4:25 and I'm still not asleep. So I might have to do a little 1-2-1-2 just to make sure I'm not fucking late to the car. But if I have time, I'll post another video. The tea that I was talking about will probably come during winter break, or if I decide to post something in the piano room, depending. But I want to like organize my thoughts together. Like this is gonna be some like my ex-best friend story, like that kind of preparation that I did with the notes. Like yeah, this is what this is gonna be like, as close to that. So I want to make sure I have my thoughts together for that. I think I'm in a good enough place to where I can talk about it, which would be a lot, I guess in a way, a lot sooner than, because I'm, you know, the best friend shit, it still hurts sometimes, but I'm working on it. Every day it's a battle, because I'm just someone that's really sensitive, and it's hard for me to let go, especially when you're been that close to somebody for so long. But this is around the time shit kind of hit the fan with that, so I was just kind of remembering it today, and I was a little bit sad, but it's okay. Where's my drink? I thought I dropped it again, but I didn't. Thank y'all for watching this. I hope I wasn't talking too fast, but peace, y'all. I'll see y'all very soon. A lot of content's coming, and I just thought of some more shit, so it's great. But y'all have a good night or morning, cause it's late. Bye, y'all.